evening, everybody on Facebook. We are not doing our live rant podcast this week because I am out and about all week, but I have a treat for you tonight. I am sitting in Santa's house. Bristol, Rhode Island is the home of Santa Claus here in Rhode Island, and I am sitting in Santa Claus's house with Mike Riley, the founder of this amazing, gorgeous house. I am going to post plenty of pictures later and a video of the house, but right now I want you to meet Mike Riley, the mind and the body behind this accessible Santa experience for kids of all abilities. So hi, Mike, tell everybody who you are and what you're all about.
So, my name is Mike Riley. I'm the president and chief merriment officer of the James D. Riley Foundation. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, all volunteer. No one gets paid to be on my board. We were established in 2017 to help our first responders, law enforcement, and military folks. We do things like build handicap ramps, we'll build handicap bathrooms, we'll do whatever we can for these folks. For about 10 years, I've been thinking about this idea called the Santa House to kind of take that to the next step, right? So we do whatever we can for families with special needs. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years is that it's very difficult for kids with special needs, not just kids in wheelchairs, but kids with autism and Down syndrome and just any place where there's crowds or long lines. It's just very difficult for them and their families to stand in line to meet Santa. So we came up with the idea to have a Santa house where families and children can come and meet with Santa and tell their wishes to Santa and really kind of have a magical Christmas experience, just like every other kid can have.
This is absolutely amazing. And like you said, obviously I'm in Santa's house. So there is a gorgeous ramp out front. It's fully wheelchair accessible. I am moved around and everything on the inside. It is decked to the nines. Let me tell you, I cannot wait for you to see the videos on this. But more importantly, this is not a photograph with Santa. This is a Santa experience. Tell everybody a little bit about the Santa experience.
Yeah. So that was a big part of, you can go anywhere to get pictures with Santa. You can go to the mall, you can go to photographers, studios. They have all kinds of sessions where you can get your pictures with Santa. And we certainly have pictures with Santa here, and it's open to the public. But what we were trying to do is really, if you've ever gone to a mall, you know that, and you've stood in line to get pictures with Santa, you have like 2 minutes to stand in line, get on Santa's knee, and take that picture. And then they rush him to the next child. And there's really no time for the child to warm up to Santa, to talk to Santa about what they want. A lot of times they are afraid. There's so much going on. We wanted to provide a place that was fun and safe and secure, so that they could have time with Santa. So children can have up to 15, 20 minutes. Really, it doesn't really matter. We don't limit the time to meet with Santa. And when they come in here, they've stepped into Santa's house. And there's a lot of things in here that you can't even see on camera. There's a lot of different things in here you have to kind of spend some time to look at. We've spent a lot of time and effort to really put a lot of detail into this experience here.
It is absolutely good. I've already said that I'm moving in. So when Santa is done, I'm borrowing Santa's house because I'm in love. It's right on Bristol Harbor, so you can't go wrong with the view that you have of the water outside. But how did this all come to play? Because this is the first of its kind here in Rhode Island. I can say that because I have been an accessible advocate for a very long time, and I've heard of nothing like this.
There are a couple of Santa houses around the country. Years ago, there used to be a lot more Santa houses. Before the malls and before even department stores, local businesses would erect a small building in the downtown area. Imagine like Providence, near the old outlet, and I can't remember what the other store was, but downtown New York, downtown Chicago, there were these little buildings where people would come to meet with Santa, and it was a draw for people to come into the downtown to do their shopping. Then when malls came along, those things kind of went away.
Right.
And then people started going to the mall to get pictures, and that's why you see a lot of businesses kind of drying up because of malls. Well, now malls are going away. So how do we do this? How do we bring people back into the downtown area and still provide some kind of magical Christmas experience? That was kind of the idea. As I said, there are a couple of Santa houses around the country, but they're in amusement parks, right? They're not. This is something totally different. I know a lot of Santas around the country. I know I'm very connected with the Christmas community. There is nothing like this that I know of.
But the only one that I know of is similar, but nowhere near this, is the one in Garden City.
Right,
but
but again, that is just pictures with Santa. That's all that is.
And it's not fully accessible either, because there is a lip for the door that comes down, so it does make it very hard. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great to have that there, but this is the magical place. When I rolled in here tonight, I have been nothing but smiling and in complete awe with this whole experience. And I haven't even met Santa yet.
But just to be clear, the differentiator is a child comes in here, they spend 15, 20 minutes with Santa, and they look around and they talk to Santa and they tell stories with Santa. Santa spends time with the child. You will not get that at a mall or any kind of photo op location.
Talk about a photo op, though. When Santa is sitting on the floor with a child trying to draw them in, or when Santa is walking around the Santa house pointing out different things in here, how many different photo ops that you have in that 15, 20-minute moment from your own cell phone to have this amazing experience. Now, everybody's asking, and I know what everybody's thoughts are, what does something like this cost? What is the experience?
So a lot of this is out of my own pocket. It's just there's no way to do it. We have had some amazing sponsors, and I tell people this all the time. I feel like we were guided by my grandfather to do this. I haven't talked about my grandfather yet at all, but he was one of Santa's helpers, and he's really the driver of our foundation. The foundation is named in his honor, and this Santa house is in his honor. We spent a lot of time thinking about this, but we have had a lot of people, just the community, just kind of come together. Perfect example, I was having breakfast down the street, and I was thinking about, what am I going to do for floors in this building? Well, I guess I could paint it. And talking to the guy that owns Bristol Sunset Cafe down the street, he goes, I'll put a floor in for you. I'll do it. And I'll pay for it. I have some extra floor, and I'll do it for you. Steps, the cupola on the roof, the ramp, just things have all come together. And a lot of times, it's when I think I don't have a solution, all of a sudden it presents itself. I really feel like we've been guided to do this.
All right. Does it cost the families anything to bring their children here?
No, absolutely not. The only thing it costs is me. So the foundation funded the building. It funded all the decorations through donations and in-kind sponsorships. We've been able to deliver this.
So this is amazing. You can bring your children here for a 15, 20 minute, and it doesn't cost you the high prices like it does at the mall. I'm sure you will take donations from anybody who would want to give it, but you can come and not spend a dime and have your child have an experience with Santa. Now let's talk a little bit about Santa, because I know you know him.
I know Santa pretty well. He's I feel blessed to be one of Santa's elite helpers, elite elves. It's something that I've been doing since I was a young boy, actually, since I was 8. And it's just, again, some people played Batman and Superman growing up, and it was something that I did growing up, and I really kind of took it seriously around 12 or 13. I was encouraged by my grandfather, but also my mom, who absolutely loved Christmas.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your grandfather, because I've heard so much about him, but I want everybody to know about him.
Jim Riley, he was a son of an Irish immigrant, came here in Bristol at a very early age, and he came across a family that was living in an abandoned chicken coop. 13 people living in an abandoned chicken coop. This was in 1927, beginning of the Great Depression. And he had no money, but he found a family that was even worse off than him and his family. And he felt bad for them, and he went around town and he gathered what he could. He got some oranges and some nuts and some candy and maybe some toys, and then he cobbled together a makeshift Santa suit. And at age 19, he delivered these gifts to this family that, again, was living in a chicken coop. And he started doing this every year. And he never took any money for doing this. And he spent pretty much all his life devoted to families and particularly children with special needs.
It is truly amazing. Like I said, this is a magical place. This is some place you need to go. Tell everybody where it is.
So we are at downtown Bristol. We're on the corner of Thames and State, that right down on the water where you mentioned. We're across from Judge Roy Bean. And we, the space that the Santa House is on was, we were allowed to put the building on the space. Jim Reuter is the owner of the land, and he graciously allowed us to place this house on his land. And we're very grateful for that.
And the nice part is there's plenty of actual, real, accessible parking. Not the makeshift parking, but there's actual, real, accessible parking around here. It's a beautiful place. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of room to turn around with our vans and stuff like that. There's a lot of access to letting our vans ramps right out onto the sidewalks. Or in the accessible spaces. So this is all things that you need to know. But again, this is free of charge to give your child a magical experience. So anybody who knows anything about this, this is where you need to be. Tell us a little bit about your foundation and your board of the people who pulled this together.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we founded the organization in 2017. In Jim Riley's honor, we serve military, first responders, and law enforcement, those folks that are in need. So we do things like, as I said, we'll build handicap ramps, we'll build handicap bathrooms, we'll pay off bills, medical bills that the insurance doesn't pay for. We do a lot of that, but then we also help with kids that have difficulties and mental challenges, and we'll help those families. We'll deliver Christmas. We delivered a Thanksgiving dinner. We've had surprise homecomings. We do things like that. So what we try to do, our tagline is to spread cheer throughout the year. And it doesn't have to be December 9th to have a visit with Santa. It can be in July. We've had situations where someone wasn't actually going to make it to Christmas. So Santa came and brought Christmas to this family. We do things like that, so anyway, so that's kind of some of the.
It is incredible, and now you know why Ramp is going to be partnering with this organization, because everything that Ramp does free of charge, and everything that they do free of charge. This is like a partnership made in heaven, and I'm telling you, this is the place to be. Tell everybody how they can help out, volunteer, or make a donation if they choose to.
So you can go to our website, jdrfoundation.org. If you want to learn about the organization, you can go to the website. There's a page about the Santa House there. In the top menu, you can just click on Bristol Santa House. And from there, you can find out how to become a sponsor. You can donate if you want. And there's also a link to volunteer as well. We actually have a web portal for volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers. It's just amazing how many people want to be part of this. And just volunteer, just let people in the house, or just show them out the door, which,
right.
Watch your step kind of thing.
Well, you will be seeing me here when I come back from Washington at the end of this week. I will be here a lot because I'm going to move in, I think, because it is that beautiful in here. Oh, we got fire trucks going by. Maybe Santa Claus is on now. Who knows? See that? And you're safe down here, too, because there is a fire station that is literally across the street. So if we have any problems, we have backup and help. But this is the place to be, the jdrfoundation.org.
It's jdrfoundation.org. Yeah.
jdrfoundation.org. Go there. If you forgot that, just contact me and I can put you in contact. But 1 State Street in Bristol, this is the place to be. And if you can hand me my phone, I'm going to give that. Just hand me that. I'm going to give you guys a panned look of, it just pops out. There you go. We have more elves in here. So I'm going to turn this around and look, I'm going to give you a view. This is look at this gorgeous tree. I'm just going to give you a good pan of the room. Say hello. This is another one of Santa's elves. We have a fireplace over there. There's a fireplace. But this is just a gorgeous setup all the way around. There is so much to look at and so much to do. This is just where you need to be. So 1 State Street in Bristol, make sure you're contacting them, the jdrfoundation.org. Contact them, contact me, volunteer, donate, help out, and just bring your children down to come and visit. We'll be talking to you all soon. I will have more updates from the Santa House, and have a great weekend.
Ho, ho, ho.